Okay, babes, let's have a fucking seat. Today, I'm gonna tell y'all how I found out that the law of assumption and manifestation is real as fuck. So I'm gonna take a seat my damn self, and we're gonna hop right into the motherfucking story. The story of how your boy became your boy and found out this manifesting shit is actually wild. So, where do I start? I'm gonna start from the beginning. Like most of us, let me remind y'all, I'm freeballing this. I ain't writing none of this down. This is off the top. So if it's random, I ain't even sorry. Fuck you. You get the fucking point of the video. I'll take a sip of this water. Sip of the drip. Hold up. All right, so let me give y'all the time frame. It was like November of 2020, around quarantine. Damn, sorry, like battery just said it's on 20%, so I'm gonna really try to, actually no, I'm not even gonna play myself like that. I'm putting my shit on the charger. Or at least attempting to right now. There we go. Had to turn on the PlayStation because I'm not gonna have my phone die mid-story. I don't know how long this is gonna take. Sorry for the delay. Y'all, I might put a timestamp in this. That way y'all know where to like begin. But if you really fuck with me, most of y'all do. Then you'll stick through these first 2 minutes. Anyways, let's get it started, all right? Like I said, November 2020. Like most of us, a lot of our manifestation journeys or spiritual awakening started through a breakup. And I feel like whatever higher intelligence that we come from, it knows how to send us into a spiritual awakening or awaken us to who we really are. Because a lot of us, love is like #1 priority. So the minute we lose that, we actually start to try to find ourselves. So that was my case, right? November 2020, I'm dating this girl for like a year and a half, and I noticed things started to feel similar to a relationship I had before that was also like a year and a half, 2 years. And I get a random call. Now I know it's not random, but at the time it felt random, like her saying, "Oh, I don't want to be with you no more, XYZ." And I'm like, damn, like this feels like, in my head, I was like, damn, this feels eerily similar to something I experienced 2 or 3 years ago. Like it was the same person, just in a different body. So I was confused. So, at first I was kind of like most of y'all, you kind of spiral a little bit. I'm just like, why? Like, what are we breaking up for? I thought everything was going good. We was working on XYZ. And then at some point, I kind of remembered the things I learned before. Because I used to watch like a lot of dating channels for men, and they were just saying like accept it and walk away. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just accept it and walk away, like on the surface level, because I'm like, there's no point. Maybe this is temporary. Maybe this is gonna be like a 2-week thing, where we break up, get back together, XYZ. So I was like, I'm gonna just let her walk. You feel me? But deep down, I was hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and if you're a dude watching this, or you like somebody who likes to call people simps, I was in love with this girl. So like, of course, you're gonna be hurt if somebody you was in love with break up with you. Like, that's just what it is. That's not simping. Simping is when you're putting too much effort into someone who's not putting that effort back into you. You're just like, oh baby, I love you, but they're like, get the fuck out of my face, dude. Like that type of shit. But clearly, like I said, you get broken up with, you're gonna feel some type of way. And this is where shit started to get wild for me, because at this point, when I told y'all things were like eerily similar to something I experienced before, this one I was like, all right, I need some answers. So I started praying. Like, I've always been really big on like praying and asking God to like answer questions. That's even how I found out about like law of attraction or Neville Goddard in the first place, because I kind of knew about it before then, but I didn't know it to the extent that I was about to find out about law of assumption and manifestation. So like, I remember this was the dumbest prayer I ever prayed. not the one asking for the answer, because the answer came a couple days later. I was like, God, because I was fed up at this point. Also, like, the relationship we had was like toxic, and it was just like earlier I was like saying how everything was going good. For the most part, it was going good, but there was parts that were like toxic, and I was just like, all right, like some got to give. You feel me? So the dumbest prayer I ever prayed was like, God, if you got to send another man in her life to show her how valuable or how important I am, then do it. Oh, he wasted no time. This man wasted no time, bro. Like, I kid y'all not. I want to say, um, I woke up, got on Snap one day, and something just told me to like check her story or some shit. Oh man, when I tell y'all God ain't waste no time fulfilling this prayer, bro, I was sick to my stomach, bro. Like, I can't make this up. I was literally sick to my stomach. Like, it was just like, damn, like that quick, bro. Like, but like I said, this is something I've seen before, and to all the dudes watching who understand, like, they're like, oh, it's female nature, bro. No, you're creating your reality. Point blank, period. Whatever you believe is gonna happen, that's what's gonna happen. So before I was like aware of like limiting beliefs and how your thoughts create, I was just like, damn, this pattern keeps fucking happening. Like, there's no way I keep picking girls that do this every fucking time. I'm like, bro, it has to be deeper than, oh, these girls are the same. Hey, I couldn't be on that Juice WRLD vibe, bro. Like, so fast forward, the other prayer that I sent up got answered. I found Sammy Ingram on YouTube, and it was like how to manifest your ex back or something like that. That was like the first video I ever seen. So I click on it. I'm like, let's see what the fuck they talking about, because everybody named Mom got a video on this. I done probably seen 100 of them, and what the fuck I got to lose? And I prayed about it, so I was like, this must be the answer. So I start watching her videos, and everything just starts clicking. She was saying how like you basically created the breakup, your limiting beliefs, X, Y, Z. If you know about manifestation, law of assumption, you watch Sammy Ingram, you know what her channel's about. Like, and if you haven't, go watch her. She's dope as fuck. So pretty much, I start binge watching her channel. Like, I watched the first video about like getting her ex back, but after that, she was talking about like money, self-concept, changing how you look, changing how people view you, X, Y, Z, and that caught my interest more than anything, because I'm like, bro, like, an X back is whatever. I done got an X back before I even knew about law of assumption, but I was like, bro, like, I can change my entire concept of myself. I can change the way I look. I can change the way people see me. I can change the way that people show up for me. Like, learning all these new concepts, and I'm like, bro, this is fucking wild. So within little to no time, like, I waste no time. When I learn something, I'm gonna start applying it. So I started applying it, right? And I remember telling my mom, like, I was like, yo, like, I want to get close to God, like, closer than I've ever been. So for me, I'm not saying y'all got to do this, but I feel like these things help me in my manifestation process. Like, do I believe in God? Hell yeah. Do I believe he's something, or it is something outside of me? No, like, no. I don't believe it's something outside of me anymore. That's something that changed when I found law of assumption. And like studying Neville Goddard and all these people who pretty much talk about law of assumption. So I told my mom, right, I want to get closer to God. And she was like, now that I think about it, this was low-key a limiting belief and probably why everything kind of hit the fan, but whatever. She was basically saying that, like, when you get closer to God, things may fall apart, like, just to see, like, if you really want to get close to him, or, like, basically saying it was from the devil, whatever. So I was like, all right, whatever. You feel me? And at this point, I was like, I'm doing whatever it takes to, like, find out who the fuck I am, manifest this person back, and then just get closer to God, like I said. So what I did, I stopped masturbating, having sex. And to some of y'all might be like, oh, that's easy. But I'm an attractive dude. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I get smiling. Like, you see this smile? Like, I get smiling. So stopping, doing the do and, choking the chicken was kind of hard for me. So I took that off the list. That was like, for me, that was like sacrificing something to God in a sense, or for myself, however y'all want to put it. I was taking like cold showers every day because they said there's benefits to that. These are things outside of like manifesting that I was doing that I feel like helped me. every day I would wake up. I had like this little action Bible that I was reading, and I would just like interpret the story and each, because Bible, the bro, sorry, I feel like I'm stumbling over my words, but the Bible really has like manifestation gems in it, but y'all don't even know. So like every day I would wake up, I would read a story, and I would interpret it, and then I would write like in my notebook, I would write how I was going to incorporate this into my life. So like I was molding my brain into like being a whole different person on so many different levels. Another thing I was doing was every day before I went to sleep, I write down my wins. So wins are like things that I did well that day, or things that I would pat myself on the back for, and I would hang it on my wall. So every day, like right before I went to sleep, I would just see all over my wall. This is a whole different house we're in. We lived in we lived somewhere else. Point blank period. I would hang it on my walls, and as I'm like going to sleep, I would like read. I would like be reading my wins on the wall, and I would just feel so good about myself because I'm like, damn, like these are some good things I did today. I don't give a fuck if it was just making my bed. Like I was so low in my state of being that like these things helped me. What else was I doing? Oh, I was writing things that I was grateful for every single day, literally. And I'm not saying you have to do these things to manifest. These are just things I did. I went all in because I was tired of experiencing the same shit. You feel me? So did all that. Just telling y'all like the overall view of the process before I get into the meat and bones and the potatoes of the fucking story. I said meat, bones, and potatoes. I don't even know how these quotes be going. I just be saying them. Anyways, these were things I was doing to like change my mindset, right? So like I told y'all, I'm gonna go back a little bit. The story might be all over the place, but y'all gonna put it together. If you're smart enough, you can put pieces together. Like I said, I prayed that prayer. It was like, oh, if it takes another man for her to see my value, X, Y, Z. That manifested. I didn't even know that was a manifestation at the time until I found Sammy Ingram, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'll never do some dumb shit like that again. Like, oh, God, I'm not doing a dumb shit like that again. So pretty much what ends up happening is like the first day when I did like the whole binge watching of Sammy Ingram's channel, and she was talking about like a purge or a transition period, which is basically like when you're manifesting something and like a bunch of opposite results happen. I can't even call that a purge because whatever the fuck I spoke out of my mouth, it happened verbatim. Like saw that she was with someone else on Snapchat, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, and I wish somebody would stop blowing my notifications up. Bro, I hate when y'all do that shit. If you follow me, or if you fuck with me, or you one of my clients, don't blow my notifications up. I'll be like this close to blocking y'all and sending you your money back. Like, don't do that shit. Anyways, I started like writing affirmations. I like the script. I started like writing affirmations like every day because I decided like, bro, whatever it takes, I'm gonna do this shit. Like I was doing my self-concept affirmations. I was writing about money, my attractiveness, and obviously specific person, because that's what y'all here for, right? Specific person story. And this is when I started to see like changes, but a lot of it was like opposite results at first because I didn't know how bad the situation was internally until like I remember one day I woke up and I prayed again. I like to pray, like, but I don't pray in a way that's like, oh God, please give me this. I'm such a fucking peasant. Like, no, I just decree and declare things and I command things because that's how God wants you to talk to him, or it's anyways. So I was like, bro, I just want to cry this shit out. Like, cause I could feel it internally that like things were off. I was like, I just want to cry this shit out. And then bro, like I remember back-to-back days, I just broke down crying. So like I said, I don't agree with the whole like you can't react to circumstances, or I believe you can't continually react to circumstances, but like initially when you're starting off manifesting, you might react to some shit. I distinctly remember going downstairs into like the basement that we had, and bro, I bawled my eyes out. Like that shit was crazy because like I told you, I was in love with this girl. You feel me? Like no question about it. This was a girl I knew from my fucking childhood. So like had a long history. Anyways, and I move around a lot. I was a military brat and I move around a lot. So I met this girl when I was 10 and we reconnected like 10 years later. So this is why it was like a big deal to me. You feel me? I don't think I've ever cried over any other girl, maybe except one. So went downstairs, I'm crying and shit, whatever. And then I thought I was good. And then the next day I was making a beat, whatever, because making beats is like my therapy. I'm making a beat and I broke down crying again because like that shit hurt, bro. But here's the thing that like I didn't know changed, or I feel like it changed a lot of shit for me. The second time I broke down crying, it was like my mom came up behind me and she was like, they saw me crying, like, bro, snot coming out my nose. I'm balling, nigga. Like, I'm balling. She came up behind me and like gave me a hug. And like, for me, it was a big moment because it was like, I'm not gonna say my mom never hugged me or some shit, or like my mom never showed she cared for me, but she was always gone because she was in the military. So like, I hadn't felt that kind of love or that kind of care from a woman in a minute. Like a woman that wasn't, well, how do I grew up my whole life looking for motherly love in other women. So finally getting it from my mom, it was just like, oh shit, like I don't need this from a woman. And that's why I came off as needy or like desperate with women like later in relationships. It was never in the beginning. In the beginning, I could play it cool like a motherfucker, but it was later in relationships to where like I would start treating this girl like she's supposed to give me motherly love, and only your mom can give you motherly love. You feel me? Like that unconditional shit. So that happens. Boom, right? And this is when shit starts getting interesting. I know we like 16 minutes in, so if you watching, I'm fucking with you. Mind you, I'm gonna probably put it in the title, but mind you, this whole situation, there was distance involved. Like me and my person lived in 2 different states. I'm up north, she's down south. 2 different states. Third party, not only third party as another dude, but her best friend was also a third party because I hated this bitch. I can't make this up. I hated this bitch with like all of my soul in my guts. Like I hated her. And I know once I discovered everyone as you pushed out, I was like, all right, cool, but still don't like the bitch. It is what it is. So it's a creaky ass, wooden ass chair. Anyways, so let me hop back in. This is when shit started getting interesting, right? Because I was writing my affirmations every day, saying my affirmations, you know. One thing, like flipping the thoughts, doing the mental diet, X, Y, Z. Here's when things started to get interesting. So I'm saying my affirmations and like saying like, oh, she's constantly contacting me, X, Y, Z. At first, the contact I was getting was about a laptop that was given to me. She gave me a laptop because like I told y'all, I make beats. She gave me a laptop and like she was like texting me every day like, oh, send me my laptop, X, Y, Z. So I'm like, bro, you gave me the laptop. Like in my head, I'm like, why the fuck are you using this as a reason to text me? Because in my head, I'm not dumb. Like, even if I didn't know about manifestation, I know that your ex or people who you fuck with, they'll text you over some petty shit just to talk to you or like keep you within arm's reach, like just to know they can still talk to you, even if it's about like some fucking bullshit. So I'm like, you don't use the laptop and you gave it to me. So I'm like, whatever. So once again, send a prayer up. I get in the shower. I'm like, God, what I'm supposed to do? Answer comes across clear as day. Send her the laptop back. All right, cool. I send her the laptop back, and then I also, like when I tell y'all I tap in with God, like bro, I taps the fuck in. And I put like a little sticky note on there. I don't know if it's a sticky note or like an actual piece of paper, just like, because I didn't want to end things on bad terms. Like, granted, I knew what I was doing on my side, which was manifesting, but like, I'm still an empathetic person. Like, I don't want to be on bad terms with somebody I was in love with or somebody I fuck with. So like, I wrote a letter, like a short little letter with like a Bible verse on it saying like something about forgiveness or something, like basically saying I forgive her or whatever. Because I wasn't finna, like I said, I'm not finna leave it on bad terms, whether there was a third party or whatever. Mind you, let me go back a little bit. Mind you, while she was texting me about the laptop, bro, she's texting my phone. This is why I tell y'all circumstances don't matter. This is how I know, like, circumstances don't matter. She's texting my phone, bro, calling me all types of shit. Like, I'm not gonna get into the details because, like, it's wild. The shit she was saying was just wild. And if I was a woman, I probably would have, or if I was really like that, I would have sent one of my female family members to go get her. But I was like, bro, you lucky I care about you. Anyways, bro. Anyways, she was texting me on some bullshit, and then her friend, the best friend I told y'all that I don't fuck with, got involved, and she's texting my phone saying like how she gonna whoop my ass. Like, bro, hold on, bro, bro, y'all, bro. Do y'all see me? Like, I ain't the world's most like strong dude, but like, bro, I took kickboxing growing up. I'm 6'2". I don't take lightly. I don't take lightly to a small woman threatening me, saying she gonna whoop my ass. Like, it was laughable. It was laughable. But at the same time, it's just like, come on, bro. Like, you texting my phone real reckless, because like I said, we in two whole different states. Also, my sister, my sister's like 4 years younger than me. So she was ready to like get on a plane and like go whoop their ass type shit. And I was like, nah, like it ain't that deep. Cause I knew what I was creating. Like they didn't know that I was doing like law of assumption, manifesting or whatever. So I was like, don't even worry about it. But like internally, I was so fucking mad, bro. Cause I'm like, bro, why is it that like I'm writing these affirmations, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm keeping a clean mental diet, whatever, and all this bullshit's playing out. And like I said, this one I had to remember. I had to go rewatch the video that Sammy had about like transition period or purging. So I was like, I'm gonna just say that this was a purge. And she also said that it only lasts as long as you let it last. So I decided that shit was done. So after I sent back the laptop and stuff, I didn't. Hold up. There's the other thing. If people ask about ignoring your reality, I didn't respond to any of these texts. None of them. They was calling my phone. They was texting my phone, blowing my shit up. I responded to none of this because my mom told me a Bible verse talking about giving your pearls to swine or something like that. And if y'all know what that is, it's basically, it's like giving swine or pigs, I think, if I'm getting this right. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments or whatever. But it's pretty much, it's like giving your good energy to someone who doesn't deserve it. So I took her advice. I wasn't giving my good energy to someone who didn't deserve it. Like, if you're going to talk to me crazy, threaten me, blow up my phone, whole time you have a whole man and a female best friend that hates me, I'm not giving you my good energy. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but for the most part of my life, I've always had really good energy. Like, people fuck with me, feel me? So that's how I was ignoring circumstances and persisting and deciding that my purge or my transition period doesn't last long. These are all manifestation elements that I'm trying to like show y'all that I learned and how you can apply it to your situation. So if I'm like skipping back and forth between the story, like I told y'all, don't mind me. Just put it all together in your head at the end. Because this might be like I'm a guess it's gonna be like a 30-minute video, and I ain't doing no cuts either. I'm not cutting nothing. I'm gonna just put the fucking intro that I usually put, and we just gonna rock with it. Anyways, so that happens. I ignore the text. I don't answer a single phone call. Like, I let them talk their shit or whatever, because I'm like, bro, if I really get active, it's over for y'all. Like, I can be real petty. Like, that was another thing I was good at when I was younger, just being petty. So a lot of y'all will understand, like, I'm no different than y'all, because y'all think I'm like some type of superhuman. I used to be petty. I used to do all kind of shit, like getting revenge, playing the games with these people. I decided for once in my life I'm gonna do something different. So I ignored that shit, took my mom's advice, and I kept persisting. I kept saying my affirmations. Here's where things started to change for me. I implemented 2 things into my whole manifestation routine. I saw a video by Joseph Ally talking about, he calls them subconscious mind tapes, which is just sleep affirmation tapes. Same thing. Basically, where you record your affirmations and you listen to them while you're sleeping. So what I did was I wrote down, I had like a whole notebook. I actually still have the notebook to this day. I wrote down all like a whole notebook full of like self-concept affirmations and then affirmations about her. Like, so I think the video was like 15 minutes long. And what I would do is I put it in like a little app and I would loop it while I was sleeping. That alone changed the game for me, because I was like, I don't feel the need to like affirm all day anymore. Like, because I'm doing a lot of the work 8 hours when I'm asleep, no resistance. So I'm like, we good. Another thing I started doing was meditating every day, but it wasn't like guided meditations or meditations you find on YouTube. I would literally go in my bathroom, close the door, turn off the lights, make sure it's dark, it's quiet, and I was sitting there for like 5 to 15 minutes, just me and my thoughts. Literally, no affirming, no nothing, just me and my thoughts. And what I started peeping was, bro, I would start getting answers or information, and it could just be me creating my reality. I don't know. I would start getting answers or information about like what was going on or like things that was happening And that shit was nuts. Like, I would literally know shit. Like, I knew where this girl worked. Mind you, I wasn't talking to her. Wasn't actively talking to her. I knew that she had got a new job. I knew all this shit. I wasn't trying to know her, bro. I wasn't, like, actively trying to figure out what the fuck she was doing. I would just know. It was weird. So those are two things I started doing that, like, drastically, like, bro, the movement I started getting was wild. I started seeing, like, the car she had at the time, bro, you could not find this car anywhere. Like, it was an old car. And where I was, I started seeing her car, like, everywhere. Like, and it's like I said, it's an old car. I started seeing her car everywhere. I started seeing her birthday number, like, and I wasn't trying to. Like I said, these weren't things or signs I was looking for. These are things that just showed up. Started seeing her birthday number everywhere. What other signs did I see? She has a certain type of cat. I started seeing the cat everywhere. And I'm like, bro, this shit is wild. And then my dreams were, like, telling me shit, bro. Like, mind you, it's you creating a reality, but at the same time, it was just, like, telling me shit that was going on, and it was crazy. Like, my dream, that's why I tell y'all, interpret your dreams. There's a website called Dream Bible. You can look literally any symbol of your dream up and figure out what the fuck's going on. So, I was doing that. And then, I remember one day distinctly, like, I woke up and I did some, it was called, like, the God state meditation or some shit like that. I was bored. I was just like, let me see what the fuck this is about. So I did that. And I don't know if this is, like, what kind of brought the manifestation together or it was going to come together either way. But it was a pretty good meditation. It was on, I think her YouTube name is, like, Manifest Fast with Jasmine or some shit like that. And I did that. I go to the gym. That was another thing. I was working on my body. I was in my 3D reality. I was still doing things that helped me feel good. So I was working out, drinking plenty of water, like getting outside, all these things. So I go to the gym, and someone told me, like, put your phone in your locker because you don't want to be distracted. So I put my phone in my locker and I'm working out. And, like, for some reason, I just knew that day just felt different. Like, it just felt different. So I put my phone in the locker, work out. I come back to my locker. And I want to say this is, like, a week or two after she was texting me the bullshit. Like, her and her friend was on some bullshit. This was, like, a week or two after. I check my phone when I get back, and it's an apology text, which is something I have been manifesting. And no bullshit. Y'all can say what y'all want about me, but I keep it real with y'all because everybody want to act like they macho man and shit. Like, nigga, I cried. Like, I cried because I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was exactly what I was manifesting. I was like, because she texted me and said, like, I'm sorry, whatever, XYZ. And I'm like, damn, like, this shit real. Like, because I've never manifested anything specific besides, like, an apartment or some shit. But I thought that was a fluke at the time. I was just like, that was going to happen anyway. This was, like, specifically what I have been manifesting. And this wasn't even, like, the climax of the story. This is kind of low-key where it begins. You feel me? Got the apology text. Cool. I'm like, bro, like, I really do create my reality. So, like, I'm crying because it was just, like, wild to me. I've never received, like, an apology text from a soul, bro. Like, I've had girls do some wild shit and, like, no apology. Like, nothing. So, for me, I was like, damn, this is big. So, that happened. And then from that point, we kind of start talking again, right? But my self-concept was on point. Like, within 2 weeks, when they said focus on self-concept, that's all I was doing. Like, I was telling myself, I'm the most handsome, I'm the most beautiful, I'm the most gorgeous, everybody wants me. Like, every day I dress up hella nice, every day I smell good, X, Y, Z. Like, bro, my self-concept was hitting. It was on point. On top of that, if y'all know anything about what I was telling y'all in the beginning about, like, not being your meat or not having sex, I do feel like there's some spiritual benefit to it. It was just like my discipline was on point, XYZ. I was just feeling great. So, like, as we're talking, like, day in and day out, like, I'm still saying my affirmations because obviously, like, we weren't back together, but we were talking. You feel me? So I remember distinctly one day, she calls me, she FaceTimes me, and she was like, I asked her what I was doing, and I had a whole fit on, looking good as shit, like, had like a little red bubble coat, white tee with a chain, a little beanie. Feel me? That's all she saw though. I was looking good. You feel me? So she hangs up. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, yo, I text her. I'm like, oh, it's good. She was like, who you, like, why are you all dressed up? Like, who are you going out to see? I'm like, bro, I do this now. fuck, this is why I hate that I be like skipping all over the place. It's another thing I did that probably helped y'all. I started dressing up every day as if like I was gonna see somebody important, or like as if every day was important. So every day I got in the habit of dressing up. I made it a goal. I said, bro, if I walk out this house and nobody asks me where I'm going, like, y'all know the voice, like, where you going? Like, people see you with some nice shit on, like, where you going? If I don't leave the house and they didn't say that, I didn't do my job. So that's something I had got used to doing. So she was on the phone with me and she was like, who you going to see? All dressed up, blah, blah, blah. This kind of knew when I had her. I knew I had her at this point, but it was crazy. That sounded evil. But yeah, she was like, you going all dressed up, XYZ. And I'm like, nowhere. Like, literally, I just like to dress up now. She didn't believe me. Like, she didn't want to believe me. So I was like, all right, whatever. So it kind of like got her in her feelings or whatever. I had to like tell her like, nah, I just been working on myself, XYZ. Like, this is who I am now. Like, I'm not the same person you left, XYZ. Not on some simp shit, but just I was keeping it real. Like, that's why I'm dressed up. So that happens, bro. That happens, and then I remember distinctly, bro. I don't remember the timeline, but I remember like it was either that same day or the next day. She ain't talked to me for like 2 days. So I'm like, damn, like what the fuck I do? Like I'm getting ghosted because I look good. You feel me? Like I was confused. But I also realized it was probably just my old thoughts playing out because I still had assumptions about who she was and how she showed up and understanding that like everyone is you pushed out, XYZ. So I kept persistent with my affirmations too. Like I was like, bro, I'm not stopping just because like this shit happened or like she ain't want to rush back into it, whatever the fuck the case was. I was just affirming it like she's ready to commit. XYZ, I'm the only person she want to live with. And this is another part where it gets interesting because this is getting towards the climax, obviously, when we're about to get back together. So didn't talk to me for like 2 days, and I was like stressed because I'm like, damn, bro, I thought I was doing everything right, but then I'm like, probably just a transition period, 3D's delayed. So I was like, I'm gonna keep saying my affirmations. And I wasn't just saying like, this is why I disagree with people when they're like, oh, you can only say 3 to 4 affirmations that imply your goal. Bro, I had hella affirmations about her, but like I was repeating the same ones. Like I would type them in my notes like, oh, she always sends me good morning text, or we live together, we're in a happy relationship, we've always been perfect together, XYZ. Like she loves being my girlfriend, she's always feminine to me, she's always nice to me, she sees me as XYZ. I would repeat those affirmations because in my notes it's easier to type them, so I'm like constantly impressing things on my subconscious mind. So I hate this creaky ass chair. With that being said, that shit was at 32 minutes before it cut off. I didn't plan it, but I thought it was gonna be like 30 minutes. I think this video gonna be like 40. So I love y'all this much that I'm making y'all a 40-minute video. So if you watch the whole thing, I sincerely appreciate you, my boy and my gals. But yeah, I was saying this is where shit got interesting. Once we started talking again after like the 2 days, I was like, yo, what was up? She was like, yeah, I just didn't know what to do. Like, you're not who you used to be, XYZ, but it wasn't a bad thing. Not like, oh, you're a terrible person. It's just like what I can see, like outside of manifestation, even though everything's technically a manifestation, some people just can't believe that like you changed that fast, because it's possible. When you really focus on self-concept, it's possible for you to be a whole different person within a matter of weeks. Like, because I was going ham with it. Like, and yeah, this might help y'all. Some of y'all might be like, oh, what was the routine? Literally, like I told y'all, every night I wrote down wins. Every morning I did gratitude, like whatever. During the day, anytime like I would catch myself like stressing about something or like thinking the opposite of my manifestation, which now I know you really don't have to fight your opposite thoughts, but at the time I was just saturating my mind with it. So I was either writing my affirmations, I was either typing my affirmations, or I was reading my affirmations. I stopped watching everything on social media. I deleted TikTok. I deleted Instagram, Snapchat, because I was like, bro, I don't want no extra bullshit in my mind that ain't my own thoughts. So like I was literally just saturating my mind day in and day out with these new affirmations or new concept of self. So when we start talking again, this is when shit got interesting. Like I said, shit got actually really interesting. But let me take a sip. Okay, I'll spill the water a little bit, but This is what happened. We talking or whatever, and she's telling me how like her and the best friend that I hate, they about to move in together. And mind you, like I told y'all earlier, one of my affirmations was that me and her live together, or she only wants to live with me. So I'm like, damn, this is another opposite manifestation. Like, what the fuck? But I'm like, okay, I persisted this long. I'm not stopping here. Like, this is not where I stopped. This is not my end goal. I was like, it's really just I viewed it as a test. Whatever. She's like, bro, mind you, we're on FaceTime. We're on FaceTime. She's like, oh, I'm so excited to move in with, I don't even want to give her a fake name. She's like, I'm so excited to move in. We're signing the lease in 3 days. So mind you, I'm like, damn, 3 days, like this shit, like what the fuck I'm supposed to do about this? Like, if this shit don't manifest, then that mean I got to deal with like, cause mind you, we talking again. We're like planning on getting back together at this point. Like after the 2 day thing, she's like, you know, like I do want to be with you, X, Y, Z. So we're like, you know, if you ever start talking to an ex again, you know how that shit goes. Like y'all just talking, kind of fake playing like y'all don't want to be together, but also trying to take time. That way it's not like, oh, you rush right back into it, that type of shit. So telling me like, oh, we signed the lease in 3 days. And also another circumstance, these motherfuckers work together. Had a whole job together. They had a job together. The friend was like constantly staying the night at my person's house. And then on top of that, they're about to move in together. So I'm like, all right. Meanwhile, when she's on FaceTime telling me this, I'm on pause in my notes, typing my affirmations. She only wants to live with me. Why does she only want to live with me? Because I'm like, bro, I don't got time to be like focusing on the circumstance. Like, this is why I tell y'all, once something happens, it's done. Like, it's already gone. Like, I don't have time. Like, once she said it, it was already done to me. Like, it didn't even matter anymore. Like, not saying like it's done as in that's going to manifest, but it's done as in why I focus on that when my imagination is what creates. So I kept telling myself, oh, she only wants to live with me, X, Y, Z. Boom. This is when shit really got motherfucking interesting. Because I'm like, I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know how this is going to manifest, but I'm persistent hard as a motherfucker. Every chance I get, I'm typing these affirmations, or I'm writing them, or I'm listening to my little affirmation tape that I made. So she was like, I remember distinctly one day she wakes up and was like, we were texting, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna hit you in a couple hours because I'm about to go do something with my friend. We're gonna go drive to go get her brother or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, she finna go get her friend's brother. So it's like a 2 hour drive there and obviously 2 hours back. So I'm thinking like, okay, 4 to 5 hours max. I'm not talking to her. And mind you, I'm good because like I just spent what 2-3 weeks, maybe even it's like 2-3 weeks, maybe even 4, like not talking to her every day. So I'm like, I'm actually good. So you know, the 4 or 5 hours goes by, I hear nothing. So I'm like, damn, like, you know, maybe they on their way back, maybe they close. 8 hours goes by, nothing. So I'm like, bro, did this bitch just, let me not call her a bitch, but like, in my head, I'm just keeping it real. In my head, I'm like, did this bitch just ghost me? Like, that's wild. So I'm like, ghosted again? Like, what the fuck did I do wrong? Then I'm like, I decided, you know, I ain't do shit wrong. I went and did my little meditation. I told y'all, this meditation is so powerful, bro. Like, I texted her, I said, boom, this shit keep pausing and trying to like keep me from setting y'all free with this fucking story, because I know this story gonna help a lot of y'all learn to persist and stop fucking complaining all the time, because I'm telling y'all the shit I was going through was fucking wild. And a lot of y'all would have folded at the beginning when she was talking about whooping some ass. But like I said, I went and did the little meditation after, you know, 8 hours of no contact. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I texted her, shit went green, it didn't go through. So I'm like, damn, she blocked me. Like, I'm at the point, I'm like, bro, at least just let me know you're not gonna fuck with me, you feel me? Like, that's the type of person I am. If you're not gonna fuck with me, just let me know. Like, there's no need to block or ghost, you feel me? So I'm like, all right. Did my little meditation, and it came to me literally at that moment. Clear as day, I can't make this shit up. She's in jail. That's what I heard in my head. She's in jail. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? Like, mind you, if y'all like seen a picture of this girl or like knew who she was, her in jail just didn't go in the same sentence. So I'm like, what the fuck happened? So I'm on the phone with my boys, and I'm like, bro, I think my shorty in jail. They're like, the fuck makes you think that? I was like, bro, I heard God clear as day, like, she's in jail. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Literally, I want to say like an hour later, not even an hour later, like 3-4 hours later, it was like midnight. I get a call, and she was like, baby, I'm in jail. I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, fuck you mean you in jail? Like, and then she basically explains the story, and I'm not gonna get put too many details in it, because if she watched this or whatever, I don't want her personal business out there. But long story short, her friend lied on her about some things that were in the car. And you know, like all this shit unfolded to where like basically the friend ends up leaving. The friend and her brother, they were in the car. It was my girl, her friend, and the brother. Her friend and the brother lied on her basically because they didn't want to get sent to jail. They get sent to jail. Well, she gets sent to jail. They drive her car home and told my SP or my girl's parents a whole different story than what actually happened, which basically leads to them not being friends anymore, like not fucking with each other. Like the other girl quit the job that they was working at, either that or my girl, I don't remember distinctly, quit the job they was working at, and they stopped being friends and decided, like, obviously not to sign the lease together. So that ended up manifesting as in they're not gonna live with each other. So within like a week after this whole like fiasco unfolds, where like, you know, she goes to jail and all this shit happens, and I don't want to hear not one of y'all say like, oh, you manifesting them caused that. I cannot predict the how. If I were to predict the how, it would have been like real simple. You could have kept your friend, or like could have kept the friend, or like them just not deciding like, oh, we're gonna go our separate ways, and then her just deciding, oh, I wanna live with you. That's how simple it would have been for me. So don't be like, oh, you caused that. Nigga, I did not cause the how. That's why when I tell y'all don't worry about the how, it's not your job. It's gonna unfold in a way that makes the most sense to you, and two, brings you your manifestation in the quickest manner. That's what brought it in the quickest manner. So pretty much a week after that, like, we had been talking consistently, and literally we were living together. Like a week or two, I want to say a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks after that, we were living together, because she was obviously no longer living with the friend. So I was like, damn, like it was at this point where I realized how real law of assumption was. And then when we started living together, like all the affirmations that I was like writing or saying, like how she's feminine to me, like she loves coming to the gym with me, XYZ, bro, they were all playing out so perfectly. It was kind of scary. I was like, damn, like I really recreated a whole person. Like, this is a whole different woman, you feel me? So like, that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't want to be like, well, that's all, folks, because obviously we had a relationship after that. But like, for the most part, that was my experience with learning that like law of assumption is real. Persistence is key. Circumstances don't matter. Ignoring your circumstances. These are lessons I learned within like 2 to 3 weeks, just from being consistent and persistent with my affirmations. So I know this video helped y'all. I'm not even gonna say I hope, because I know every time I think about it, that's what makes me understand that like manifestation is real, as long as I persist in whatever the fuck I'm saying. So with this 30-40 minute video, I know I changed your life, and I know now you have the belief that you can get your SP, or you can get that money that you're desiring, or you can get that car that you're desiring, or that dream job that you're desiring, or whatever the fuck it is you desire. As long as you persist, you gonna get that shit. And don't let circumstances make you fold. If you really want it, you'll persist. That's all I got for y'all. It's been your boy. If you watched the whole 40 minutes, I fucks with you. And I know you fuck with me. That was lame. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. I'm out, your boy. I'm really the fucking GOAT.